What a difference a week makes. What a better 2-minute warning we all have here today based on the 2-minute warning in Los Angeles. I'm guessing you're enjoying this one just a little bit more. Welcome to a little post-game and Damon, some post-game live stream that we don't even wait for the game to end to get going. It is great to have you here. Thank you so much. Hit like and subscribe right away if you would. Hitting that like button lets this channel just start pushing this show out, and the more people come on in, the more we'll have for you each and every week. So thank you so much for being here. You could be hanging out anywhere right now, and you're hanging out right here. It means an awful lot. We are brought to you, of course, by my man Ike Sandwiches. That's the best sandwich in the world. Hopefully you took advantage of the $3 off promo that he was running. Download that new Ike's Rewards app. And as you can see, we are powered by BetUS. So this one is all but the final statistics in the books. 49ers sitting on top of the Patriots, 30-13 here at the 2-minute warning. And even though, and I'll be the first to admit it, if you want to get out the microscope and find some things to criticize, there's plenty to criticize in this game. The pass protection for Purdy isn't the best I've seen. A defensive line, which with 6 sacks right now feels like it's feasting, could have probably done even a little bit better, to be totally honest with you. Stop me if you heard this one before, but special teams continues to be a week in, week out issue for the San Francisco 49ers, and we will get to all of that. This is not a criticism-free show by any stretch of the imagination, but what we actually have, what we do have for sure, is the game that the 49ers needed to just get right. No matter what happened today, at the end of it, if they were 2-2 and it felt like you came out of the game basically injury-free, things were going to be okay. Now, Fred Warner's ankle is something that we will be keeping an eye on right up until we get an official word on what Fred Warner's ankle is. It caused him to leave this game and stay out of this game, but Fred Warner's been on the sideline walking around, very much seeming in good spirits. Fred Warner has no "my season hangs in the balance" body language going on here. And whatever criticisms you might have today of the 49ers, and there are always criticisms that come with every single 49er football game. They've scored 30 points. They've had more than 400 yards of offense today. Defense scored a touchdown today. I mean, it's too bad Fred Warner couldn't continue to hang out in this game, because that guy, he's got that defensive player of the year aura about him. He is so special. Fred Warner had one of the 3-4 best catches in this game today when he just stabbed an interception right out of the air. I'm not sure Jacoby Brissett even saw him, got lost in the sauce of a crossing pattern, and it was just as great of a catch you'll see. And then, of course, he bounces up and returns it for a 45-yard touchdown. Some of Brock Purdy's best plays today were negated by questionable at best, if not just straight up incorrect officiating decisions. And I'm going to tell you, this isn't just me telling you that the officials had a bad one today. This was Joe Davis and Greg Olson. And oh, by the way, while we've been talking, it looks like Jordan Mason just busted off his longest run of the entire afternoon, and Jordan Mason is having a very good afternoon. Jordan Mason has had several explosive plays, but yeah, the 24-yarder that he just peeled off, going around the left side, you could see Trent Williams down there just clearing the way like a road grader. That was his longest run of the day, a day filled with some explosive plays from Jordan Mason. Brandon Ayuk feels like he had a better game today, and certainly the game that you wanted to see out of him today. And it is victory formation for the San Francisco 49ers, which means we're officially entering a little post-game and Damon territory. Welcome. It is wonderful to have you here. Again, we are powered by BetUS. You can check out right now BetUS and find a 150% deposit match with the promo code YouTube150, 150% deposit match on your first deposit up to $2,000, and then 125% on your next two up to $2,000. And we got a Sunday Nighter coming up here. Let's not pretend that this Sunday Nighter is not about to happen. Let me just quickly take a look here. What do we got coming up on Sunday Night Football, baby? Little Bills and Ravens. You know what? I don't see the Bills going to 4-0. Let's go ahead. Let's talk a little Baltimore Ravens here real quick. Baltimore Ravens, go there. It's a Sunday nighter. I'm feeling good. Let's put 50 on it. You feeling that? Let's go. Baltimore Ravens, I'm getting points. Yeah, I'll put 50 on that. At home? Sure. Oh, no, they're giving -2. Fine. I'm going to take the Ravens at home. They're feeling a little bit desperate. They really, really are. So, there you go. Thank you very much. Check out BetUS. You'll be happy that you did. Getting right back to the 49ers, and you'll be happy that you're here because that's all we're going to talk about. This was a game that they absolutely needed. It was one that they had to have. They needed it. They got it. Was it perfect? Is it completely criticism-free? I can already feel an awful lot of cynics out there saying, look, man, it's the New England Patriots. You got to grade it on a curve. All right, to a point, you have a point. But to the other point, that the NFL is officially the single least predictable league in professional sports. I don't think you can be criticizing who you just got the win you needed over. So it was a day that they needed. We stopped for super chats. Feel like they should have dominated more, but it's a win, so that's progress. Look, Brian, I'll agree with you. They could have probably done even better. But the truth is, even better doesn't mean they would be more 2-2-y than they are 2-2, which they had to be at the end of this game. So what they had to do, they got. What they had to do, they got. Warner is bound for the Hall of Fame. Sitting out was smart, if not hurt bad. Look, they didn't need Fred Warner to win this game. Fred Warner already made the biggest play in this game when he left this game. And if the ankle is tweaked, you err on the side of caution. Good to see D. Winters get a couple of snaps today. I really thought that one of the other, just standouts of the day is Sam Okonkwo, who is, that guy's not going back to the practice squad. He stays. He had himself a really good game today. When we have all final numbers here, we will take a look at this box score. Boom. We refreshed. We're officially good. Let's hop into a little box score. You feeling box scorey? Me too. Jacoby Brissett sacked 6 times. Hold on, wait. Jacoby Brissett got sacked 6 times today. Bosa with a sack, a strip, a fumble, and fumble recovery. That is hitting for the cycle on a quarterback sack. Good to see Bosa get one of those. At the end of the game, you could feel like they kind of saved Bosa. He wasn't on the field where he might have been early on in the game. They wanted to save his legs for some fourth quarter pressures, and it feels like that was a piggy bank that filled up the right way because Bosa was a menace here in the fourth quarter. He really, really was. He had, I think, a sack taken away from him because Brissett had actually gained a yard, but Bosa was playing behind the line of scrimmage in the fourth quarter. The 49ers were behind the line of scrimmage for 6 sacks today. Now, if you wanted to get really criticism, I'm a tough critic, Damon. They should have probably had 8 sacks today, to be totally honest with you. 8 sacks would have been even better. But I was pretty good looking at Nick Bosa and this defensive line. Again, they did what they needed to do today. There's very little doubt about that. 24 carries out of Jordan Mason for 123 yards. I mean, that jumps out to you right away. Brock Purdy absolutely eclipses 300 yards today. Had the Jordan Mason receiving touchdown not been taken off the board early on in this game. There was a drive where Brock Purdy had 2 touchdowns taken off the board by questionable officiating choices, to say the least, but they come back to score the touchdown when George Kittle outleapt 3 other New England Patriots to come down and high point a ball in the end zone. It was a great play out of Kittle. What did Kittle finish with today? 4 catches, 45 yards, and a touchdown for Kittle. Juwan Jennings made a hell of a catch. 3 catches, 88 yards for Juwan Jennings. He leads the 49ers in receiving yards. I did not have that one on my bingo card today, but he did it again. You'd figure that with Debo back and with Ayuk, Ayuk for a 5-target, 2-reception performance. I'm feeling a whole lot better about Brandon Ayuk. He's making catches and got wide open today. He probably made a diving catch. They even took a look at it to see if it needed to be reviewed. Brandon Ayuk's not making that catch 3 weeks ago. And I really think Brandon Ayuk is going to be even better a week from now than he was in this game. So it feels like it's starting to get a little bit better. And it needed to get a little bit better. There's no doubt. This is the sloppiest number on the board, though, right here. This is what Kyle Shanahan is going to be talking to his team about. 3 fumbles, one of them belonging to Isaac Guerendo. And that is just inexcusable. The 49ers basically were in control of this game to the extent where the only way the New England Patriots were going to even suggest getting back into this game, the only way is if they had a special teams miscue, which of course they did, because a special teams miscue hangs over the 49ers at all times. Every single game this week, it feels like a special team, or every single game so far this season feels like a special teams miscue has hung over the 49ers. I mean, just 4 weeks of action. We've already seen a blocked punt. We've already seen a muffed punt. We've already seen this team surrender a fake punt. We saw horrible coverage set up a game-winning field goal. And today we saw a fumble that let an incapable Patriots team feel for a minute, hey, we might be capable of getting back into this game. There is no way the 49ers don't have a serious correction to make on special teams. I mean, I don't know what pictures Brian Schneider has of Kyle that continued to leave him with this job. And I understand that he's got some pelts on the wall from his past and a good special teams coach reputation that he has brought to the 49ers. But this is about production. And I'm going to tell you, too, Isaac Guerendo has yet to impress me. I mean, really, Isaac Guerendo has yet to impress me. These are my 2 biggest official complaints out of this game. Special teams, again, and Isaac Guerendo, kind of a yawn. Again, you know that the coach doesn't believe this guy can get the job done. If as soon as a mistake is made, you don't see him have that job anymore. If there was real conviction that Isaac Guerendo was the right guy to be returning kickoffs on this team, then a mistake wouldn't have him leave the field indefinitely. We have seen Isaac Guerendo appear in a game once, do something unimpressive, and then vanish. It's happened a few weeks now. You know, one was a bad play from the line of scrimmage. This was an unimpressive punt return fumble that he coughed up. You had Kyle Juszczyk's returning a punt today. Like, isn't that Jacob Cowing's job? And I didn't see Cowing do anything to get demoted, but apparently he did, and we got Kyle Juszczyk out there returning a punt. It just shows you that there's not a lot of conviction in what they've got in terms of kick return or special teams coverage. But Moody hit the field goal today, and I'll tell you, the 4th longest field goal in NFL history, a 63-yarder, was hit by Joey Sly of the Patriots today, and that was probably, since it actually counted, and the catch that looked like it might have been a catch down the side there, but it wasn't a catch. I even thought the Patriots might want to look at this. This looks like it might be a catch. It wasn't. It wasn't a catch. So since that play didn't even happen technically, I guess the 63-yard field goal was the most impressive offensive play, even though it's special teams for the New England Patriots all day. Look, the Patriots are bad. There's no way to pretend that the Patriots are anything other than bad. A bad team got even worse after just one series. A bad team lost its center, David Andrews, who went back to the locker room after one drive. You know, that's a bad sign going on. The very next series for the Patriots, they fumble away right back to the 49ers. And it felt like, you know, the Niners were just doing all they could to settle for a few field goals early to keep the Patriots in and around this game. But the truth was, just watching what was happening on the line of scrimmage, just watching what the Patriots actually had out there, and there wasn't a single moment, even after the Guerendo and everybody's angry fumble, where I thought New England had any chance here. The Patriots came in bad, and they were in worse shape after just 2 drives. Settling for field goals feels uninspired. having a special teams eyesore is not what anyone wanted. You had Mason, even with a couple of fumbles that he fell on, so it's not like they were lost fumbles, but you don't want to see that. Some of Brock Purdy's best plays were wiped off by officiating decisions of Kittle and a phantom hold. There was also, an illegal man downfield, or no. It was two guys in motion at the same time, which wiped away what would have been a passing touchdown to Juszczyk. But Kittle ended up getting the touchdown, the high point touchdown. This was a poorly officiated game against the 49ers. Not my opinion. That's the opinion of Joe Davis and Greg Olsen. They said it a few times during the broadcast. So it really wasn't something that I thought, if complaining about officiating here's the right thing to do. The broadcasters in this game were complaining about the officiating. Fred Warner's ankle, if there is no hangover there, this game is everything that the 49ers needed, even though it leaves room for improvement. But if there's one thing that we did learn in this game, thanks to the Fox graphics department, is that there really is a bit of a special number out there for Kyle Shanahan. And look, we knew that Kyle Shanahan needed to have a good game today. He's going up against a rookie head coach. Shanahan should skin rookie head coaches who don't have an awful lot of talent alive just about every single time he is playing a rookie head coach with that scenario. But we saw what I can only call, the magic number. Kyle Shanahan has a magic number, and the magic number is 27. The 49ers have now won 30 consecutive games. 30 consecutive games when scoring 27 or more. That's good for business. And look, 27 is not a small number. 27 is a big NFL number. But it's the longest active winning streak in the NFL. So scoring 27 and losing has happened to somebody before it's happened to Kyle Shanahan. This was a day where they just had to finish 2-2. And if they finish 2-2, then you got to poke out your head out your window and say, well, what else happened? Everyone wants to just look at a game in a vacuum, and it's right to do that in many instances. There's also a chance where you got to pull back and really look at where you are in comparison to the rest of the league, right? So everything that could have broken the 49ers' direction feels like it broke the 49ers' direction in the early and the afternoon slates here. Arizona fell to 1-3 with a home loss to the Commanders, who have punted once, I think, in 4 weeks now. The Commanders and Jaden Daniels look like they might be the team that could win the NFC East. Who would have ever had the Commanders winning the NFC East? But they're off to a phenomenal start with a rookie quarterback, and the Washington Commanders went into Arizona and whooped them today. Absolutely whooped them. The Bears did the 49ers a favor, beating the Rams. The Rams fall to 1-3. The Packers lost to the Vikings. Now, even though the Packers aren't an NFC West team, I'm going to tell you that only so that I can tell you that the 49ers lost to a Vikings team in Minnesota that is now 4-0 on the season. Looks like a hell of a football team. And, not that you wanted to lose in Minnesota, but the further you get away from it, the less embarrassing, the less, we got to score that hard against you. That loss actually looks for the 49ers. And then, if the Lions beat the Seahawks on Monday Night Football, the 49ers will have gained a game on every team in their division, after waking up in last place this Sunday morning. So that is good. The 49ers did what they needed to do. Everyone in the NFC West who has played has lost, and the Seahawks have a Monday Night Football game tomorrow in Detroit, which feels like a losable scenario for the Seahawks. So everything broke pretty darn well for the 49ers. Like and subscribe, if you would, please. Hit that like button. We've got nearly 460 people in the room right now with only 124 likes. It's just this. It doesn't mean that I am going to now have a video channel that is overpopulating your YouTube feed. It just helps this Livestream start growing and reaching more good people out there. And that's what we're trying to do. We're now over 24,000 subscribers. I thank you very, very much. It's good to feel like I'm back in the game a little bit here, and it is great to have you. Thank you very much for coming on by. I know that there's an awful lot going on in the chat. Joe Hall saying, huge win, back on track. It's exactly what they needed. VDV. Mason leads the NFL. He does now, right? With that day, 24 carries, 123 yards for Jordan Mason. And, you know, people keep saying he's a different running back than Christian McCaffrey, which is correct. But they say, well, Mason is a little bit more of an old school running back, which feels like you're trying to say he's 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Jordan Mason produces explosive plays. I think I saw in this broadcast as well, Jordan Mason leads the NFL in carries of 10 or more yards. He had at least three of those in this game. I'm going to have to go back and fine-tooth the box score and the play-by-play a little bit. We'll do that before we get to Wake Up with yours truly and Larry Krueger on Monday morning, 9 a.m. On both of our channels. But this is what the 49ers needed. And Mason, for a guy who isn't Christian McCaffrey, sure produces an awful lot of explosive plays, kind of like Christian McCaffrey did. Bill's going to roll tonight. Oh, well, then I shouldn't have made that bet over on BetUS. And I'll just tell you right now, if you're feeling extra confident, you get over there and you hammer. The Buffalo Bills. I laid the points. I think the Ravens are feeling a little desperate. I'll just, let's go Ravens. Why not? Make it an interesting game. Weird happens early on in this season. We see it all the time. Weird is happening all over the NFL. Dale, special teams is soon ass. Dale, that came out a little wrong, yet I understand every single word you said. Yeah, special teams kind of definitely, that was ass. It can't happen, yet it continues to happen. I suggest they make a radical change which gets the attention of every single dude in that locker room. Get the attention of your locker room by firing the underperforming coordinator. It is not an abstract thing to do. I know it's not a very Niner thing to do. It hasn't been a Kyle Shanahan thing to do. I would do it. I am so thoroughly unimpressed with this team's special teams, and Kyle has got to hate it. He can't be happy with it, but he allows it to happen week after week after week. Do something. Do something. Well, says Milwaukee Sniper. I'm guessing it's is it Milwaukee Sniper? Milwaukee Sniper. Well, let's just go with what it says. I won't assume. Well. The path up is started. I seriously hope you weren't one of those people looking to throw out the entire season at 1-2. They volunteer their own identities in chat rooms. They volunteer how they just like to play the sky is falling because it's the only emotion that makes them actually inspired in life to communicate with people in the outside world. I don't know what it is, but there is a group of 49er fans who just want to be the first to volunteer the information that the entire ship is sinking. Like they're all racing to give you bad news. The reason why I hope you find this channel, this broadcast valuable to you is because I've been covering the NFL for the better part of 20 years, and to reach any conclusive decision about any team through 3 weeks is something that only just got here new rookies. Do you even know what you're looking at? Newbies do. Or they're just the desperate for attention folk, or they're willing to sell you panic in the name of producing actual content other than, isn't everything going wrong all the time? The 49ers have had a very difficult start to this year. The 49ers have had a sequence of injuries that has made a difficult start through training camp, holdouts, hold-ins, whatever. They've had a string of injuries that have made the start of this year a bit convoluted. Greg Olsen said it best. In the broadcast, Greg Olsen says, 2-2, Feels about right. All things considered, you put everything in the gumbo. How is this gumbo really supposed to taste? It's probably supposed to taste about 2-2, to be completely honest with you. Defense showed its fangs against a team that you better bear your fangs against. 6 sacks. 6 sacks. Jacoby Brissett is very few NFL quarterbacks are worthy of like your pity or like you're going to want to go to church and light a candle for that guy. Light a candle for Jacoby Brissett because he is the equivalent of a human sacrificial lamb. So their highly drafted rookie quarterback doesn't have to die for real behind that offensive line. That is a terrible offensive line, which was starting its fourth different left tackle and lost its starting center before the second drive happened for the Patriots. By the way, there is nothing less manly than drinking out of a straw, right? Like here I am driving home a really manly, important point, and then I'm like, terrible look. Terrible look. I might have to remove the straw going forward. Let's be honest. If we can put up a poll. Unfortunately, I don't have a producer to put up a poll, but should we remove the straw? Anyways, thank you very much. Local enterprise broadcasting. Garbage win. Too many stupid mistakes. Hey, you can fill up the trash can with as many garbage wins as you want. I would rather have a garbage win than an impressive defeat any day of the week in this league. So take it. You know what I mean? Absolutely take it. Damon, Malik Collins pretty good after getting roasted last week. I did think Malik Collins had a better game this week. Absolutely had a better game this week. He should. He was looking at a backup center by the time he reached his second series out there, but he fell on that fumble, and it was what needed to happen. It was good for Malik Collins. Beating an NFL team by double digits is big, no matter the team. Waz G's. Thank you very much. That $5, Waz, goes right into the ganja jar. Oh, wait a minute. I got to learn how to point. There it is. The infamous JJ Raider ganja jar. It's the only Raider that is involved here on the 49ers live stream. JJ Raider, because he sponsors the ganja jar. So that $5 goes in there. Thank you very, very much, Waz G. And you're right. You are absolutely right. You beat an NFL team loudly, no matter what the circumstances are. It's a pretty good day at the office for all included. Juice should just be catching for special teams. I mean, isn't this why like a guy Trent Taylor is on the team? Just somebody back there who's not going to make an explosive play, but just make sure you don't fumble it away. Isn't going to make a mistake. It feels like every single team in the NFL should be judged on a scale that is better than just don't make a mistake. But that is really where we are with the 49ers special teams, kick coverage, punt coverage, return. It just don't make a mistake, which means you probably should be looking for another special teams coordinator. But that's just me. You know, I'm kind of an asshole. Thank you very much, Link, for watching, for subscribing. If you're a subscriber, you will get the content even easier. If you just like the show, I will appreciate that very much. Go ahead and support my sponsors. Not only BetUS, our good folks at BetUS offering with YouTube 150, 150% deposit match up to $2,000 in that first deposit. And then beyond that, it's $125. But look, I love BetUS. Someone asked earlier, are they good at payouts? Yes, they are completely reputable. You check out BetUS. You will be very, very happy with the way that it interfaces, with the odds that you get, with the way it works. Check it out. Really, check it out. And check out my guy, Ike. There he is. See that cardboard cutout right there? I'm terrible at pointing at things on the opposite direction. See that cardboard cutout right there? That is my man, Ike. He's got a delicious sandwich waiting for you. And I will also tell you, they got a perfect Guinness waiting for you at the Dubliner. I'm going to give Ike his graphic overlay real quick. There he is, that handsome guy. Make sure you download that app. baby. He's got a brand new app, and you get a free sandwich just for downloading the app, by the way. The Dubliner and West Portal, San Francisco unite. Get to West Portal. We'll be there for another Plus Mania during the bye week, and we might have to bring the helmets behind me. Check out the great helmets behind me. I am proud to be an affiliate of our good friends at Green Gridiron. Follow the link in the description of this video to the greatest helmet website you're ever going to see in your life. Mini helmets, all the college helmets that you could ever think of. Replica helmets like this Niner helmet. Real deal, customizable. You could wear it in a football game. Riddell Speed helmets. Look at this bad boy. Look at that, baby. This is what you're subscribing to. This is the Plus in helmet form. Thank you very much to Green Gridiron for making that happen. And it's great to have you here. It really, really is great to have you here. Let's get back into the chats. I agree with you here. Jeffrey, no more rookies doing returns or kickoffs. That should be final. It's amazing that rookies seem to be held to a standard to play any snaps of offense or defense. But on special teams, if you're a breathing rookie, no matter how bad you are, you get a million bites at the apple. It is weird, Jeffrey. I would agree with you. Give me someone who can go out there, and my only expectation, my only request, the only thing I hope is just please don't ruin the game. Do not open the door for the other team to climb back into it. San Bruno Mike, you want to talk about supporting the channel. You become a member of this channel. I deeply appreciate it. You will hear from Sports Bane. That is the rumor. Not that I am Sports Bane, but thank you very much for over 375 shows watched and 85 likes given. Oh, no, that's what he's not giving his own stats there. He's looking at what's going on. That was a little while ago. Again, we got more than 400 in the room, and there would be even more than 400 in the room if more people hit that like button. It helps this show grow. JJ Raider, our official Ganja Jar sponsor, says, Damon, I still don't see it. Brandon Ayuk isn't playing up to expectations. It's going to happen. I really believe it's going to happen. He made a catch today that 2 weeks ago he's not going to make. He got wide open today. I think that the Patriots' single best element of their team is that secondary. And you could see Brock Purdy was running around. I mean, we'll get into Brock Purdy's day here in just a minute, but he was looking downfield and he wasn't really finding an awful lot of separation. I don't think that's just on Ayuk. It was on everyone who was out there running patterns today. I think Ayuk's going to be fine. I hope I'm right. You better hope I'm right too. Because if he's not, this team is going to be a little undermanned. For a guy that they're paying $30 million a year to. Sean Turner, why does Kyle play with his food? I think you got to give the Patriots a little credit. You know, they fought. They were given just like a crack of hope in this game. They tried to do something with it. I don't know. Look, football's hard, man. Football's hard. It's hard to look good and consistent through 4 quarters of a game, much less week after week. So what is really working early on, when it starts to not work a little bit later on, I know everyone wants to sort of do the referendum of, you know, what went wrong? Well, the other team's playing, and that's what went wrong. That's often what's going wrong in football games. That other team is out there playing too. Again, this might not be accusatory enough or blame gaming enough for some of you, but that's not the show that I host because that's not the league that you're actually watching. This shit is hard and complicated at all times. And to think anything other than that, to try to frame this should have been easy for any element of a football team, regardless of who they are, regardless of who you're playing, it means you don't know what you don't even understand the league that you're covering. So hopefully you come on here to learn, you know, I don't know, some adult lessons, I guess, about how difficult this really is. That's why the Niners are feeling good today, because they're 2-2. It's the only thing that they needed to do was be 2-2 today. That's all they needed to do, and they're 2-2. And hopefully Fred Warner's okay. My man Barry from Memphis. Barry coming in with a super chat. We don't get 49ers games here in Memphis, so I don't have a freaking idea how this game looked. I haven't seen Brandon Ayuk's name in the comments. Well, again, we were just talking about him. It wasn't any impressive day, but it wasn't. Here's the thing. He did enough for them to win the game. He did enough to where you didn't feel like the 49ers had trouble throwing the ball today. They did what they needed to do. They ran again, let's go to the box score, shall we? Let's do it. Barry Ford. Thank you so much, Barry, for the super chat, as always. Let's hit the box score. Again, 49ers. Get out of that Fumblesville over there. 49ers got a day out of Brock Purdy that honestly should have been over 300 yards. He didn't get his normal 110 rating, which you always like to see, but he was only sacked once. Touchdown, had a pick in the end zone that was probably the only time in the game where Brock got greedy and tried to make something happen. He was trying to make something happen to Brandon Ayuk, by the way. He just didn't throw the ball early enough, and the Patriot defender closed on it, and there's your interception the day for Brock Purdy. But look, you're getting 10.7 per throw. You're doing a good job. 288 yards. Not the most spectacular afternoon for Brock Purdy. I thought that really where Brock had his best element of his game today was with his legs. I thought it was one of the best days he's played with his feet. He was scrambling to keep plays alive. He was just moving around the pocket to keep plays alive. I thought he retreated well. I thought he knew and made the right choice when to tuck it and run, when to go. He had 2 passes on the same drive that were touchdown passes that were called back, and then he punctuates that drive with a touchdown pass anyways. The beautiful pass to Kittle. He hit the 53-yarder to Debo downfield, which was a really nice strike, maybe his best ball of the day. His 46-yard strike to Juwan Jennings was a hell of a throw. Even better catch, though. Like, that highlight goes to Juwan, but it was a dime from Purdy. And outside of Jabril Peppers making a hell of a pick on Purdy's afternoon, it was a pretty damn good afternoon for Brock Purdy that could have been even better had at least a 20, 30-yard play not been wiped off by an official call of holding on George Kittle, where George Kittle wasn't holding at all, and Greg Olsen ran right to his defense. Jordan Mason, 24 carries, 123 yards and a touch. 3 catches, 88 yards. Again, look, how much are you going to say Brandon Ayuk had a terrible game, right? When the 2 guys above him only had 1 more catch. So I guess we got Kittle with his 4 catches leading the game, but he was the 3rd leading receiver, had 2 catches. He did what he did with most of his opportunities. Again, the targets were not bumbled by either him not being able to catch a ball or not, being in the right position, by running the wrong route. It did feel like a day, even though the production doesn't speak to the day being incredible for Brandon Ayuk. He was more Brandon Ayuk today than he was in any other game so far this year, and I think you're going to get an even better version of Brandon Ayuk as it goes along. Again, these are the numbers that is going to drive Kyle Batty right here. You do not want 3 fumbles. 1 on special teams, 2 from Brock Purdy. Jordan Mason, Jordan Mason recovered 2 fumbles. He did. He pounced on them. They were kind of his fumbles, too. I'm surprised he's not getting credited with fumbles. Anyways, we'll worry about how that all comes out in the wash. Jair Brown, by the way, ended up being your leading tackler on the day. Nick Bosa, again, did what he needed to do. He got a sack, his strip, his fumble at the end. Malik Mustafa, in his first start, had 5 tackles in this game. We used his name early on when he whiffed on a tackle, and then he dropped a deflected interception. It feels like the only 2 times we used his name, but 5 tackles for a guy starting his first game. That's good. Saw Leonard Floyd appear in a box score and actually have his name used in a game today. That was good. And again, 2.5 sacks for Kevin Givens. Welcome, Kevin. Keep it up. Malik Collins with 1.5. Malik Collins is going to get more and more playing time. Rookie Evan Anderson, he got a sack. He also wears the the poofy helmet. He wears the poofy Guardian cap. But it was a 6-sack day. Fred Warner, without a doubt, the defensive play of the day, stabs a ball right out of the air, gets up, and runs 45 yards for a touchdown, a pick six for Fred Warner. But they were forcing turnovers. They were forcing sacks. And let's just look at some team stats over here, shall we? Team stats. Again, it wasn't a great day for the 49ers offense, yet they had 431 yards of offense. It wasn't a great day. Didn't move the ball quite like you wanted to, but you're getting 7.2 yards per play. You know, you're getting 10.1 yards per pass. You had 148 rushing yards, for goodness sakes. 148 rushing yards. 6 penalties, 43 yards. Clean that up. That's too many penalties, too many weeks in a row. The 2 turnovers was nobody's friend. They didn't dominate a time of possession the way that you thought they might have. But this was a game where Kyle did pretty much what he wanted to do. And as we said earlier, Kyle should look good against a first-year head coach, should he not? Kyle should look good. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad I looked up right now. I hope I haven't missed any super chats. They do go flying by when I'm looking at another page. Miguel Rodriguez has become a member. Welcome to the initiated, Miguel. You are now born into it. Thank you very, very much for being a part of the membership here on this channel. I do appreciate that. I certainly hope I didn't miss any super chats. If I did, 1,000 pardons is all I beg of you. 1,000 pardons, please. But look, this was the game the 49ers needed. This was the game that reaffirmed Jordan Mason can do it. Brock Purdy can do it. The offensive line needs to get better, but we all knew that. That is just going to be part of the story of this season. Apparently, Dominic Pooney got hurt in this game, but I do believe returned. And look, it was a first quarter where Kyle was on his game. You know, the only complaint through the first quarter was instead of being up 14-0, you're up 6-0 because you're settling for field goals. But this was the right team to settle for field goals against because you just knew the Patriots weren't going to spend the afternoon hitting explosive plays. They went up top a couple times looking to find something. They didn't find enough to make me particularly worried that the 49ers are as bad at playing over-the-top defense as they looked against, you know, the Rams and the Vikings. Everything works better when you get a defensive line that's getting home. The 49ers at the end of the first quarter had run 18 plays, 57 rushing yards. The defense had only given up 29 yards of offense through the first quarter. Again, this game just got established quickly. And even with the special teams miscue, the fumbled kick return in the second half by Isaac Guerendo, even though that took a game that was 20-3 to 20-10, there wasn't a single moment where I actually thought the Patriots were going to climb back into this game. Not a single moment where the 49ers were in jeopardy in any way of losing this one. They controlled the afternoon. We got third string All-Pro saying these fights in the stands are becoming more and more common. Unfortunately, Falcons game, 2 guys in the stands got their heads smashed in. I mean, I don't know if people are doing it to trend on social media, or I don't know if we can trace this behavior back to, you know, just COVID made a lot of people forget how to act in public once they spent a year indoors. I don't know what it is. But there is an element out there that is absolutely just incapable of conducting itself like a law-abiding adult in a public situation. And you could say, well, you know, you fuel that with the aggression of football, mixed with alcohol, mixed with days and, you know, people partying. Sure. You know, football is a place where you're going to see punches thrown. But it's happening everywhere. I mean, it's not just at football. I would actually say a fight in a football game makes a little bit more sense than it does in other places I see him go down lately. But, yeah, everybody behave out there. It is great to see. Great to see so many, people who are here every time we go live. The diehards, the plusers. It's so good to see you. Lots of familiar names and a whole bunch of names that I've never seen before. And that's the beauty of a little post game. It brings new people into the mix. That's why we need you to hit that like to get this live stream being picked up by the algorithm, have it pushed out to more people, give it an option. People click on it. They find it. They start saying, oh, my God, this is what actual fresh water tastes like. I drink crap. Most of the time I'm getting my content in sports. Hopefully you consider this something other than crap. I really do. There's so much crap out there to, talk about what third string all-pro was saying with just the way that people behave. There's so much crap behavior out there. There's so much crap information. There's so much crap. Sky is falling at all times. If the sky is always falling, then I guess you wouldn't even know what an actual falling sky looked like. Again, oh my God, the season's over. They're 1-2. Calm down. Calm down. Mike, thank you very much. You're not back in the game, Damon. You never left. True. I appreciate that. Hammer the Ravens. Pound it, pound it, pound it. You want to pound it? Let's pound it out. Hold on. Here we go. We can pound it out with you if you need to pound it out.
Pound it, pound it, pound it, pound it.
Again, 49ers win. Rams lose. Cardinals lose. Seahawks are in Detroit tomorrow. If that doesn't bring you to maximum football, nothing will. What else we got? What else we got going on? Mike Montgomery's coming in here saying, with all these injuries, I will take 4-4 at the bye, get healthy, and take off. If there's anything we've learned about the San Francisco 49ers, is that it's really not how you start your year, it's how you end. So as long as they're peaking and healthy and feeling good at the end of the year, yeah, that's what you're looking for, Mike. There's no doubt. I will say this. I will say this, and this is why, I'm seriously, I'm thinking about firing my special teams coordinator from Kyle Shanahan, because let's say everything goes right for the 49ers from here on out, right? Okay. Everything goes great. They finish the year, they wrap it up in their final 13 games. They are 12-1, right? They're 12-1 in their final 13 games. So the 49ers rip off a 12-1 record over their final 13 games. They are the 1 seed. They then win their first playoff game. They then win the NFC title game that they are hosting. They then go to New Orleans. Guess what? They're going to lose that Super Bowl because of the fucking special teams that you refuse to improve. I just do not trust special teams on the 49ers at all. And that is going to be the theme of the rest of my season, I think, covering this team. Unless they get better on special teams, that's going to come back and bite them in the rear end, because it bites them in the rear end every single time I look up. It is the only common thread between each of the 49ers' first games. The only common thread, truly. A special teams mistake has dotted every single game so far this year. A blocked punt. A muffed punt. You fell for a fake punt. You had such bad punt return coverage, you handed the Rams, an easy game-winning field goal when they needed it the most. And then today, the only way a thoroughly depleted, bad, about to just Debbie Downer it the rest of the day New England Patriots team was going to feel like it even had a chance to get back in this team is if you did something ridiculous like fumbling the second half kickoff And they did. So, if I were Kyle, I'd go ahead and I'd fix that. But, what do I know? I'm just a guy talking on YouTube. Jennings could be great. Obi Banksy. I'm glad you brought that up. Because when Kyle Shanahan looks at the tape and he now sees Debo doing something that he deems less than becoming, when he sees Brandon Ayuk doing something that leaves him not liking it, he has a legitimate option. Juwan Jennings, his numbers are only depressed by the fact he doesn't get the opportunities. Juwan Jennings, dude, say whatever you want about his measurables, his combine number, his in short speed. He's got all the requisite football speed that any man needs to go play in this league. He's got it all. He is a good player right now. He is a hell of a player. Give me more Juwan Jennings for sure. Juwan Jennings now, this year, has more catches and yards than he did all last year. Already through 4 weeks, he's eclipsed last season's production. So keep it coming. Keep it coming. JT Conlon says, win isn't convincing enough, but needed. Okay. I get it. Everyone around here is judging, with the single most discerning eye you can have. I get it. I do. But you had over 400 yards of offense, and you had over 400 yards of offense. You sacked the other team's quarterback 6 times. You got turnovers. Your defense scored. You scored 30 points. You held the other team to under 2 touchdowns. Eventually, we have to pull back from the, so zoomed in to not like something criticisms to pull out, refocus, look at the big picture. And when you look at the big picture, there's no element of this that I think gets categorized as unconvincing. The 49ers just won by 17 points. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, I'll take all the 17-point wins you can sell me right now. But I hear you, JT. I'm not trying to argue with your point that you're making. Again, over 400 people in the room. Oh, by the way, Brian is giving 1 vote to remove the straw. We've reached the straw portion of the chat, right? I'm removing the straw. Thank you. I don't like to have unlidded drinks, but I also don't like to look like I'm a cute little girl in the club sipping my, Shirley Temple. Don't look for that straw with a tongue. Anyway. JT came back in. So it's a win to be content about, not to be up in arms over. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there shouldn't be an angry victory going on here. And you know what, JT, you're on a roll right here saying, hey, Pearsall could be returning punts and kickoffs. Maybe they ask him to do that. Again, I think it gross that the only expectation I have for 49ers special teams is, hey, just please do not screw up. Just if you could not invite the other team back into this game, that would be great. That would be great. Words of Wisdom says, I am chatting from the toilet. I have no toilet paper. It's a shitty postgame. Zing. Very funny. Words of Wisdom. I hope you got that settled. That is a terrible feeling. There's nothing worse than looking over and seeing no toilet paper once you've reached the point of no return. The only way that gets worse, because, you can saunter around your house if you have to, full pants around the ankles, looking for another. You ever have that happen to you in a public restroom? That's when just your stomach sinks. Just like, oh no. That's not good. We got here. Time to create future says, never liked Sutro Tower either. Oh, well, then you got to go. You're not even welcome to watch this program. You got to go. Douglas says, look, postgame for a game like this is actually the hardest. You can't rant about how great it was or how bad the team it was. Doug, there's an old saying among a lot of sports broadcasters, give me excellent or give me Drek, because nobody gets inspired by 500. By the way, it would be perfect. Have this. I got to see, just real quick. Hold on, because I kept on calling them all year long the single most 500 looking baseball team I have ever seen in my entire life. What happened? What happened today? The Giants lose, so they don't finish 81-81. They finish 80-82. So they're not the most 500 team I've ever seen. They're 2 games below 500. Frickin' Giants. Thank God baseball's over. So sorry, Oakland A's. By the way, had a really good conversation with Glenn Kuiper. That's a video that's out there right now. If you're interested in hearing from Glenn Kuiper for the first time in a long time, check that out. Download the podcast if you're interested in listening to the total unedited conversation. So let me do a little promotion there. But yeah, look, 500's not inspiring. An average game isn't inspiring. And I'm not trying to oversell this to you. But again, the 49ers were north of above average. They were pretty good today. You can have the sliding scale of the Patriots are, convincingly unimpressive, but convincingly unimpressive football teams win football games in the NFL all the time. It happens all the time. It happened to the 49ers earlier this season against the Los Angeles Rams. Unconvincing, undermanned teams still find ways to perform in this league. Louis Monroe says, Ayuk, the Niners' supposed number 1 receiver, got beat by a rookie corner in Gonzalez. It's not a good look. Okay, you don't want to be beat by a rookie, but I'm telling you right now, Gonzalez is the second best New England Patriot on this team. Jabril Peppers is the first. The Patriots got a good secondary still. They're well coached. Mayo's got a decent defense. And Gonzalez can play. Like, if he were a 49er, he'd be starting over Diamador Lenore. He really would. He's good. But I hear you. Brandon Ayuk, it needs to get better. It's got to get better. It has to get better. I believe it will. I certainly think he knows that. What else we got going on here? We break for super chats always. Thank you very much. Craig's Kitchen. My new mini helmet has its first win. Yeah, go to Green Gridiron. You can find replica helmets very reasonably priced. That looks like the real deal, doesn't it? It's a replica helmet, which means it's a fraction of the price of an actual helmet, a customized helmet with your own brand and logo on it. But you can get an actual real 49er helmet. You can get a real helmet. Or then if you're just thinking like, hey, I want to have something cool for kids these holidays. These little mini helmets are freaking awesome. These little mini helmets, my kid loves, Jack loves his mini helmet. So find your way in the link in the description of this video to Green Gridiron. Use promo code Bruce at checkout and enjoy. I'm really the Green Gridiron guys are awesome. Like I got an email from them. I got on a phone with them. I talked to them. These guys are great. They have a great company. I mean, and that's the thing. I don't want to be affiliated with just fly-by-night bullshit artists. I want greatness in my sponsors. And we got it. We got it with our friends at Green Gridiron. Use promo code Bruce. We have got greatness with a little BetUS powering today's show. By the way, make sure that you Use promo code YouTube150 when you sign up for BetUS for a 150% deposit match on your first deposit up to $2,000. Then it's 125% up to $2,000 on your next two deposits. So BetUS is fantastic. And again, you can use it from anywhere because it's offshore. Don't let those words scare you. You can trust BetUS. Also, my man Ike has the most delicious sandwich in the world. I know that for a fact. The Dubliner pours the best Guinness in San Francisco. Dubliner, West Portal. I know that for a fact. So every single one of my sponsors touch the element of greatness. That's where we want the Niners to be, surrounding us with elements of greatness. I don't know how much surrounded by greatness we were today, but it was good enough. It was good enough, and it's exactly what they needed. Absolutely what they needed. Luis again says they bitch and moan about Shanahan not letting rookies play, but now he sees why he doesn't like them. I mean, look, you cannot have Garendo on the field until he's a better football player. He has been thoroughly unimpressive. I mean, let's be totally honest about Isaac Garendo. And I'm going to bring this up with Larry when he tells me, like, oh, well, in practice, he's done. I don't give a shit. In games, he is unimpressive. So get Garendo out of there. Get anybody else who is not going to make a mistake on special teams. That's what I need. That's what the Niners need. And then after a couple weeks of nobody is make a mistake, then you've got some building blocks. Now, how can we improve? Can we get better than just don't make a mistake? Can we actually, make a play? You think we got a play in us here, boys? You think we got something positive? Just something other than negative is all I'm freaking looking for out of this special teams unit. And by the way, I'm not complaining about Moody. If you're complaining about Jake Moody, you honestly think that your kicker is supposed to hit every single field. Jake Moody can kick, man. He's got a big leg. He's good. He really is. He's good. I'm not even complaining about him. I'm not complaining about Wisnowski as a punter. It's everyone who catches the ball or everyone who's supposed to be tackling a guy with a ball. That's the problem with special teams. Okay, what else we got going on? I agree with you here, man. JP from the 510 says, I'm glad the new NFL preseason, also known as the first 4 weeks of the regular season, are done. Yeah. I mean, I think that beginning next week, you're going to have teams really finding their own level. And I really think that Brandon Ayuk's level is better than the level we've seen out of him. I think this offensive line's level is going to improve with an improving Trent Williams. You saw Trent play a great game today, didn't you? That's good news. Trent was very good. Douglas says, yes, marginal separation from receivers has been a consistent thing so far this year. It makes Brock seem a bit slow to throw the ball, but it's not his fault. Not his fault at all. I mean, Brock today, I thought maybe had the best day with his legs that he's had in the NFL so far. One of the best days with his feet. And when the big plays were there, he hit them. He hit the 46-yarder to Jennings. He hit the 53-yarder to Debo. He had to throw 3 touchdown passes before one of them, the one to Kittle, finally counted. Again, I'm going to say the only time that Brock got greedy with a throw, he did it, I think, in the name of getting Brandon Ayuk a touchdown. I think he got greedy with Brandon Ayuk and threw the interception, which Jabril Peppers made an incredible catch on. But he did that, I think, because he was wanting to do it. He was wanting to get Brandon going because he knows that this team gets better the more Brandon gets going. And I do think he's going to get going even better than we've seen. This week, he didn't, Kyle didn't like what color shorts he was wearing. Who gives a shit? Miguel Rodriguez said, Damon, that helmet is legit. Thank you. I love the freaking helmet, man. Check. You can have your own. Any college, any pro team, any size, any price point. From Riddell Speed that you saw being worn in today's games all the way to replica helmet, to mini helmet. It's all there for you. Red Jet, that helmet is life. Thank you, Red Jet. Thank you. The helmet is life. It sustains life. Check it out at greengridiron.com. The description is in the link to this video. What else we got? Oh, Leo saying, hey, where are all those Rams trolls? Didn't they did kind of disappear from today, didn't they? All this Los Angeles Rams chest thumping, which we saw a lot of last week, continued to linger throughout the past week's shows. Not a lot of it today. Chardonnay Dog says, welcome to the initiated, to our newest members. Thank you very much for the members. Look, you don't want to have a membership? That's cool. Just hit like. Just hit subscribe. That's like a free membership right there. Liking the video will help it reach a bigger, wider audience, and that's all we're looking to do. Bigger, wider audiences, baby. Kyle says, this officiating crew was brought to you by DraftKings. Man, there are bad NFL officials. Just every single time you watch an NFL game, it's like you gotta factor them in. I mean, they see shit that isn't even there. This two men not coming to a complete stop, this like illegal shifts, illegal offense, illegal motions. We're seeing way too much of it. Illegal man downfield this year, we're seeing way too much of it. The Kittle holding call that wiped away Jordan Mason's first receiving touchdown of his career and would have put Brock Purdy over 300 yards. That was the worst decision of the day. The worst decision of the day by these officials. Greg Olsen was like, there is nothing happening on this play that is worthy of a hold. It's not my opinion. It's Greg Olsen. And then Joe Davis is saying, yeah, we see this all over the field, every play. What are these officials looking at? Ridiculous. Damon, do you think Jennings will have a 1,000-yard season? No, I don't think Jennings will have a 1,000-yard season. But I think everything else about him. I mean, I love the guy. I don't care how many yards he has already in this season or going forward. The guy's a stud. He's an absolute stud. Hold on, I'm trying to zoom out here and see where we are. Give me a little box score here. Why is my internet not doing my internet the way I want it to be done? Hold on. Juwan Jennings right now this year, 18 catches, 276 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He had 18 catches last year, right? I just think that there's going to be passes to Ricky Pearsall that he's got to deal with. There's going to be more passes to Brandon Ayuk that he's going to have to deal with. There's going to be passes coming to Christian McCaffrey, which will repress that 1,000-yard season for Juwan Jennings. But he is one of the single best deals in all of football. One of the single best deals in all of football. That you get that as a wide receiver for less than $10 million. That's like getting it's like picking up your Versace at Ross. Very impressive. Guys, very, very impressive. One of you says, Brandon Ayuk should just give JJ his contract. He's probably going to keep his contract. Look, he earned that too. He did. I'm telling you, it's really, really easy right now to be like, fuck Brandon Ayuk. If you're saying that at the end of the year, then yeah, okay, you might have a point. I don't think you will be. I think before this year's over, an awful lot of animus towards Brandon Ayuk is going to be forgiven by 49ers fans. Let me just tell you. Fred Warner, I hope that ankle is okay. I hope that there's nothing to worry about in Fred's ankle going forward, because that guy is putting together an early season resume for Defensive Player of the Year. And the play that he made today, he created a turnover in every single game so far this year. Fred Warner is just a fumble causing, interception grabbing, touchdown scoring machine. Fred Warner is having I do think it is, like calm down with the Hall of Fame accolades, right? He's on that track. He really is. So Fred Warner. Well, I'm about to say something right here. Fred Warner is about to be the best linebacker in the history of the 49ers, not named Patrick Willis. I think Fred Warner is already drifting into the better than Navarro Bowman conversation. And I was as big of a Navarro Bowman fan as you'll ever meet in your life. Navarro Bowman, for a minute there, was the only other linebacker in football who I thought might be better than Patrick Willis. Fred Warner is playing himself in a position to be the second greatest linebacker that this team has ever seen. And if he were ever a part of a championship team, well, that's how you would leapfrog a Hall of Famer like Patrick Willis. But Fred Warner is the best linebacker in football today. I don't think that that's an exaggeration. I don't think you would get much brushback from other fans of other teams who know who Fred Warner is and are watching. I mean, there was never a moment during Ray Lewis's career where I was a Ravens fan and I was ready to tell you that Ray Lewis was far, far and away the best linebacker in football. And, here's the thing. Patrick Willis, Ray Lewis. Ray was here. Ray Lewis is one of the all-timers. And again, if you can only compliment players that play for your team, we ain't going to get along very well as host and audience member. Yeah. Anyway, Christopher Byers, just ganja. Thank you, Christopher. That would have been even more helpful had it been attached to a super chat, but thank you very much. I like the energy. I like the spirit. Philip, Don, Michael, Johnson, Thomas. It's Georgia. It's SEC country. It just means more. Alabama. What a game. By the way, Indiana is the 23rd ranked team in the nation. My Hoosiers are 5-0. Bring on Alabama. We get it. What else we got going on here? In the chat. Gotta love Annie. Going back to the old...
Pound it, pound it, pound it, pound it.
I wonder whatever happened to Annie, baby. I hope she's somewhere right now, drinking a Michelob, smoking her cigarette. God, I loved Annie. Old radio memories. Thank you very much. Misterith 40, great show. Well, thank you so much. I hope you did indeed like and subscribe to what we're looking at here. Agree, it's time to fire Schneider. It's again, you need to shake something up, Kyle. Like just going back and doing it again and again and again. It's not changing anything. You can't have the same problem in a row every single week and do nothing about it 5 weeks in a row. Like that's negligence. You can't do that. I don't know. I don't know what Snyder has got that couldn't be replaced with someone else. I don't understand it. It was a good day for the offense. It was a good day for a defense that needed a good day, that needed an improving day. And look, here's the thing that I think we all need to realize as well, since, we're all adults in the room talking like adults talk to each other. We're going to say some things that, others would rather not say. To be consistent through 4 consecutive quarters of football is impressive. To be consistent week in, week out is very impressive. The 49ers, if there were a single word that I could use to describe Kyle Shanahan and his tenure, and he's in year 8, so we're going to throw out the first 2 years because he had a full roster flush, and by 2019 he had a Super Bowl team, and since 2019 he's appeared in another Super Bowl, and he keeps on going to NFC title games, and this guy is consistent. It's why his offense, it's why his running game is the envy of the NFL. It's why other coaches try to emulate what he does, not he's trying to emulate what other coaches are doing. Kyle might, here's the thing. It's like you start taking for granted what you see every day. It's why people start taking their spouses for granted. It's why people sometimes take their job for granted. It's why people take, shelter and comfort for granted. Because hopefully those are things that you have all the time. The minute they're taken away from you, though, you realize how important it all was. And I really do believe that when you look at some of the clown behavior that you see from NFL teams and coaches and production and results, the 49ers might be consistent. And part of that inconsistency is, absolutely having come up short in a couple Super Bowls. But part of that consistency is the 49ers, when they go out and get to play their game, they usually win it. They played their game today. They were on their game in Los Angeles a week ago, but then they got off their game thanks to a special teams miscue. And special teams miscues cannot become part of your consistent behavior. So do something other than nothing, Kyle, you incredibly consistent, talented head coach. You do it. Do something that makes everyone in your locker room for the first time go, what the fuck? Things are different around here now. That could be exactly what kicks this team into gear. It could be the move that they need. Sacrificial lamb? Yeah, maybe. Sometimes you need it. Seeing Damon drink from a straw was like seeing that guy dancing with the cheerleaders in the end zone. Eeks. Yeah, G-Man music. Let me just say this. There is not a single element of, and I'm not saying that the male cheerleader is gay, but I think it's a safe bet. There's not a single element of gay existence where I'm not looking for them to be treated equally, afforded every single right, afforded the respect that all of us, again, have and take for granted. But the male cheerleader thing is always going to hit my eyes a little funny. There is no doubt about that. The male cheerleader is always going to hit my eyes a little bit funny. And yeah, it's like, do you even want to see me do the straw thing again? No, you don't. I get it. Yeah, Danny's Castro Street straw. Yeah, you can't get caught drinking out of a straw. It does not look manly. And let me tell you right now, there can be a lot of manly gay guys. And they're probably like, I don't want to drink out of straws either. But the male cheerleader is always going to make me go, wow, that's times are changing. But here's the thing. I'm not going to deny it. Do whatever it takes for you to be happy, man. Because at the end of the day, what does it do for me? Does it hurt me? Does it bother me? Does it affect me? Not at all. I don't give a shit. I didn't even think about him until you brought him up. So there you go. There's a few players out there wearing those turtle shell helmets. Yeah, Link 1879. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And as funny as they look, I can't begrudge any dude, cannot begrudge any NFL player for wanting to do more to protect their skull. And if you're telling me that you have empirical evidence that wearing a Guardian cap can protect you, okay. Look good, feel good, play good. I don't know if that looks good, but if it makes you feel good, then it'll help you play good. That's good. That's good. We saw the 49ers rookie defensive lineman wearing it today, Anderson, and we saw Jabril Peppers, who was the best defender that the Patriots have. Jabril Peppers was wearing one of those Guardian caps. You're seeing them more and more in football games. What I'd like to see them do is come up with either a fabric or a graphic designer that can just make that look a little bit better and not like somebody pulled a sock over your football helmet. They'll work on it. Again, it's just the first time we've ever seen it, right? Just Daniel Rodriguez, nothing to say. Just throwing $2 in the ganja jar. Thank you very, very much. Dan Serrano says, Damon, I got my helmet. Thank you so much. I hope you ordered it through Green Gridiron. I really, really do. Ayuk to special teams. Well, again, no, we're not quite there. We're not quite there. But apparently, here's the thing. Okay, you know what? For $30 million, maybe you do get out there. Whoever's not going to make the mistake. That's it. Now, I wouldn't want a guy like Brandon Ayuk returning thing. I don't want him exposed to a level of injury right there because, again, Brandon Ayuk goes out. Now you got problems in their depth chart and your wide receiver. You don't want any of that. You definitely don't want that. Again, nothing to say. Just Norris Mitchell. Just tucking bucks. Thank you very much for the super chat, Norris. Appreciate you. Ayuk was the only one wearing white stockings. Yeah, the sanitary. I don't know. Maybe that was a little bit of a. Maybe that was just a little bit of a screw you, Kyle. I'm not going to dress like everyone else. I'm going to do my own thing because you made me change my shorts in practice this week. Look, I really do. I appreciate a head coach saying everyone's got to look the same. But ultimately, if you're wearing black shorts instead of red shorts, you got too much shit to do to care about that a lot, right? I mean, I never really bought into the whole, everybody of traveling needs to wear a shirt and tie. Why? Well, it does look good getting off the plane or the bus. And, it screams we're on a business trip and all that stuff. But be comfortable like a professional athletes. I don't need you to look professional. I need you to play like a professional athlete. And if wearing sweatpants gets you to the game more comfortable, fine, that too. I don't care. What do you say it is we do around here? We playing dress up? No, we're playing football. So, anything that doesn't affect the outcome of a game doesn't really bother me. And I wouldn't let it bother me as a coach either. I'll agree with you here. S6 trillion. Malik Collins' performance is being underrated. I told you I was excited about him. I told you that my man, John McClain, who has been covering Houston Texans football since the Oilers, he's my go-to guy for anything Houston Texans information. I immediately reached out to John McClain. John, how did the 49ers trade for this guy? And he said, I cannot believe that the Texans just traded Malik Collins to the 49ers for the return that they got. This guy is good. And I'm glad that it's starting to bear some fruit. Damon, the bitch slap from Kyle made Ayuk play better. Greg Arjay. Greg, I hope we're nailing that last name finally. Thank you very much as always for the super. But I did think Ayuk played better today. Ayuk did not have an overwhelming day of production by any measure. But he played, I thought, better than he played last week. He made a catch that 2 weeks ago he's just not making. Broken Metronome says they're not calling the hip tackle, but they're calling bullshit holding calls. Yeah, that hip tackle, which was supposed to be a big deal, no, it doesn't seem to be at all. I still see guys getting dragged down, pulled down all the time. There are a ridiculous amount of downfield holding calls on where guys are not getting held. And there are an insane amount of illegal formation. Player didn't come to a set for 1 Mississippi long enough. When you go back and you look at the actual, footage of the play, show me the illegal shift, the illegal motion. And then you're watching it. Greg Olson even says, he's like, I think they were set. Like that's, I know what set is. That's set. It's 1,001 Mississippi to everybody, but in that own referee's mind. So that own referee's mind, because he was saying the word Mississippi a little bit slow, is the reason why, these plays are just being wiped away. Some of the best plays of Brock Purdy's afternoon were wiped away by refereeing bullshit. That sucks. That totally sucks. What else? Matthew Williams. Hey, Damon, go Hoosiers. Absolutely. Go Hoosiers. Let me tell you, Kirk Cignetti would not wait for 4 weeks to make an adjustment to his special teams. Oh, did I say 4 weeks? I mean 5-0, baby. The Hoosiers are 5-0 and heading to Northwestern. That sounds like 6-0 to me. I don't want to get cocky. I don't know what better than 6-0 even looks like. I don't think I've ever seen Indiana with a record better than 6-0. So I don't know. We're in uncharted territory. But thank you for loving me enough to think about that stuff. I will say this. BA is a beast. I mean, he's not playing like one right now, but Sean, you're right. His downfield blocking today helped open things up. Jordan Mason keeps on popping. And Brandon Ayuk is a part of that. My man Otis. Fred Warner, definitely up there as far as Niners linebackers go. I mean, it's a short list, and he's already on it. And that return, you're right. Carson, it was incredible. It was chef's kiss. No doubt. It was an incredible return. I mean, he caught it like a wide receiver or a tight end. He bounced off the floor like a gymnast who didn't stick the landing. And then he turns into a running back. He turns into Jordan Mason and takes that sucker 45 yards. He's awesome. Guy's just absolutely an awesome football player. GT the universe. Want to earn the respect finally after showing up with his hard hat and punch card after all these years. I mean, Juwan Jennings is a player that in the moment that we're now watching in his career is screaming, play me more. You can't go wrong. Play me more. You can't go wrong. I mean, put him on special teams. Let him handle punts and kickoffs. How come Jacob Cowing gets no snaps from scrimmage? I mean, I remember talking about this when the Niners drafted 2 rookie receivers. I'm like, this is great. But Kyle's probably not going to play these guys. It'll be really interesting to see what happens when Ricky Pearsall is activated, available, and how many snaps he's getting. Going to be very interesting to see that play out when that comes into the mix. And again, that is going to be a difference maker for the Niners. How many teams sitting at 2-2 right now can say that they are adding their first round draft pick, who is a weapon, drafted to be a weapon anyways? We don't know. Maybe you can't play at all. But how many teams through 5 weeks, or going into week 5, get to say, hey, who still you're going to see and you haven't even seen yet? Are the guy that we drafted with our first round pick and the reigning offensive player of the year. Like, those are a couple wild cards that the 49ers haven't even played yet. And everyone wants to say it's time to leave the casino because you're off to a 1-2 start. Again, choose your content creators carefully, kids. Hopefully that's what brought you here, because you're just out there and saying to yourselves, geez, that's an awful lot of bullshit I'm hearing all the time. This world's full of bullshit. Our main export as a country feels like it's bullshit at times. So hopefully when that truth hits your ear, you like the way it sounds. And the truth is, as I said, since the season started, there's a whole lot of football still left. It's not time to go throwing the baby out with the bathwater, for Christ's sakes. This year's over at 1-2. It's over. Calm down. Calm down, sweetheart. I do seriously hope you plan on joining yours truly and Larry Krueger. We'll be co-streaming 9 a.m. on Monday. And we're brought to you by Sam's Chowderhouse. And we will be streaming Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I hope you subscribe so you don't miss any of that. I hope you hit notify. I hope you hit like, subscribe, you become a member. Supporting the channel goes a long way to supporting the family, and I appreciate that very, very much as we rebuild a career that Changing Media tried to tear down. We're not going anywhere, baby. We're going to do this better than some radio stations around here. I can promise you that. So it is really good to have you. Thank you so much for being here. We're not going anywhere yet. I'm not wrapping anything up, but I'm feeling thankful right now. Thankful for all of you. Thankful very much for my sponsors. My man Ike has got the best sandwich in the world. Let me get his graphic back up here. My man Ike, and I want you to download that new app. Do it now. He's got a new app and a new rewards program. You get a free sandwich just for downloading the new app. You get $3 off sandwiches on Saturdays. You get, with a promo code SAT3, that's for one more week coming up on Saturdays. You get new ways to win, drinks, chips, combo meals with every order on the new and improved app. Wait until you see that. It is awesome. Wait until you walk into the Dubliner. You're going to say to yourself, this bar is freaking awesome. I love this bar. Everything about it. It's working for me. Dubliner, West Portal, go get a Guinness. Go say hi to my boys, Kenny and John. They're going to take good care of you. I can promise you that. Make sure you tell them, San Franciscans watching locally, that the Plu sent you. Damon Bruce sent you, and they love hearing that. And I love that they're sponsoring this channel. I love the Dubliner. And my boys at Green Gridiron, supplying the helmets behind me. Use the link in the chat, if you would, please. Not the link in the chat, the link in the description of this live stream, and use promo code Bruce at checkout to save money over at Green Gridiron when you're ordering your helmet. And when you're feeling frisky, when you're thinking, all right, I want to get a little something rolling on double Monday Night Football coming up. We got double Monday Night Football, for goodness sakes. Check out BetUS. Check out BetUS. We got double Monday Night Football coming up this week. And right now, you use promo code YouTube150. You'll get 150% deposit bonus match up to $2,000 with 125% waiting on your next two deposits up to $2,000. Check out BetUS for all your gambling needs, baby. It's got you. It's got you covered. All the lines, all the plays, all the parlays, everything you could need over on BetUS. Heck, I took the Ravens -2 earlier in today's show. Put a 50 spot on it. Let's see if that bad boy cashes or not. We go back. Says on the road, Kyle would say, whoa. How did those shorts get past customs? Yeah, like seriously, what are we worried about shorts? What are we worried about shorts for? I'm looking at it this way. I'm just glad that you got shorts on. Rob saying Indiana being bowl eligible in October would be absolutely crazy. Rob, I saw today 2 lists of the 12 teams that might be participating. There were 5 total experts weighing in. Give us your 12 teams who might make the college football playoffs. 2 of them had Indiana in the college football playoffs. I mean, if that happens, we will. I mean, what won't we do? I don't even know what I would do. What would happen? I don't even know. I don't know. What would I do if Indiana were playing in the first ever college football playoffs? I don't know. I really don't. There's not a lot in my life that I can tell you. Like, I don't know how I'd react to that. I don't even know how I'd react to that. I don't know what I would do. Maybe we'll find out. We got Dimitar Dimitrov saying Jennings always been clutch. BA used to be. He will be again. Look, I think the Brandon Ayuk is off to a much, much different start this year, full stop, had he had a training camp, a preseason. This is the training camp and preseason. He caught the exact diving catch today that he dropped, week 1 against the Jets? Or did he drop that? No, yeah, I think it was against the Jets. He dropped that right in the end zone. Same diving catch. Purdy threw him a dime. I'll agree with you here. Since we're talking about all the officiating, the PI on Lenore was total horse shit. I wish they'd resign my dude right now. Number 2 is a monster. Look, Lenore got called for a terrible PI call. It was hand fighting. I mean, they even brought in the expert, right? Let's go to New York to see what, retired official thinks. And he's like, yeah, that's really not PI. It's a bad call. Dude, the dude doing the Dan Lanning is just, no, calm down. You think that's here, you know what? Instead of the guy who's winning all the time in the NFL right now and continues to go to usually at least the NFC title game, let's replace him with a guy who's never done it. It's crazy. We look great with no Ronnie Bell. $6 trillion. Yeah, Ronnie Bell got no snow. Why is Ronnie Bell on the team? Otis. Dublin is a great spot to catch a game. Hey, we will all be getting back together at the bye week this year. Bye week. What is a bye week? I don't even know. I don't even care right now. I know it's the Arizona Cardinals next week. The bye week. The bye week is when we will have Plus Mania once again at the Dubliner. So circle that, plan on being there. I'll let you know if it's Saturday or Sunday, the closer we get. We should probably get together on a Sunday, Everybody get together. Uh-oh. So my wife, I think, is upstairs trying to sign in as me on YouTube TV because I signed up for YouTube TV when we had the DirecTV NFL ESPN blackout earlier in the year, but I canceled YouTube TV. So I wonder if she's up there really wanting to watch something or if she's checking to see if I did it. Damon, who would you go to the game with in person? Would you go to a game in person? Dude, I've been lucky enough to be at so many games in person. I can honestly tell you that I like going to games as a fan. I don't like going to games as a media member anymore. And we're just talking NFL games because I do a better job covering the NFL from my couch than I do from a press box. And I really believe that. I believe that when I was on the radio. I believe that. I believe it implicitly. I do a better job covering the game from my couch. You have a better angle watching this game on TV than you do in person, than you do from the press box. I need to be able to toggle replays so I can, did I just see that? I need to be able to hit the rewind. And I do a better job at home. So would I go to a game in person for fun? I mean, I went to the IU game. Ozzy just came down here like a madman. You can let him in. It's all right. We're approaching the end of the days anyway.
What are you doing down here, Daddy?
What am I doing down here? Well, Ozzy, say hello to everybody.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah. And again, also when I go to a game in person, I got to leave this guy. So I don't really want to do that. Never daunted. If IU's in the playoffs, we show up. I'm going to have to sell that to Jillian. We might have to sell one of the kids. Ozzy, what do you think we get for you on the black market? Would it be enough to cover an Indiana playoff run through the college football playoffs?
I don't know.
You don't know? You're not ready to price? Never even thought of Indiana football playoff tickets yet? I'm not ready to price them either. What do you think we could get for you on the black market? What do you think that number is? Do you think you go for over $50?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think you're more valuable than $50. Do you think you're going for over $100?
I do.
$1,000?
Yeah.
10,000?
Yeah.
Wow. There you go. So maybe this is how we pay for it right here, Never Daunted. Maybe this is how it all comes together. I can officially tell that my man is. Oh, Jack, you want to come on the show too? All right. I guess. So here's the thing. So Jack saw Ozzy, and so of course Jack wants in now. Come on in, Jack.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap up over here. Yeah.
Big for you, Mommy.
Yeah. You like the? Oh no! Don't start grabbing things. Don't start grabbing. Hold on. Let me put this down here. So, do you like the fact that the Niners won today, fellas?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
What do you mean you don't know what I'm talking about? You know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
All right. See, when you see me with my children, you start thinking like, oh, there's a guy with a heart. There's a guy who's like a really nice guy. And it totally ruins my image. I need to be the angry sports guy that you keep on coming back to for the truth, not the compassionate, loving father who has adorable children. Oh, guys, you're killing my image over here. You're killing me. You having fun? Want to go upstairs? Hey, tell everyone what we watched for the first time ever last night.
Inside Out 2.
We watched Inside Out 2. That was great. What else did we watch? Daddy used to watch it when he was a little kid. The Muppets.
Fraggle Rock.
Fraggle Rock, baby.
No, I don't know.
You guys ready to go crush some more Fraggle Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go.
Talking about.
All right. So we got to go crush some Fraggle Rock. And that feels like the right place to end today's show. Thanks to all of you. Last super chat. Hey, did Ayuk look a little slower, or is it just me? He's faster than I am. He's faster than most of us. But there you go. I know. We do have a straggler. Thank you. I know you want to stay here. Oz, I'm going to be up in a little bit, buddy. See, this is what happens. Oh, there we go. Bye-bye. Hey, Damon, you were actually wondering what your kid would fetch on the black market. Hey, we got to ask these questions. I mean, maybe he drops a number we just can't say no to. And there it is. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for supporting. When I ask you to like, it's so this channel grows so I can pay for those nudniks. When I get your super chats, I thank you kindly because you're helping that out. Really. Thank you very, very much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Support all of my sponsors. Again, thank you so very, very much to BetUS. Thank you to Ike's. Thank you to the Dubliner West Portal. Thank you to Green Gridiron. Thanks to all of you. And if you don't mind me saying, we will be back at it 9 a.m. Monday morning, co-streaming on the channels, Damon Bruce and The Krug Show. We'll be back for a little wake-up, 9 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we're going to be talking about the 2-2 49ers who got the job done today against the New England Patriots. That's our job getting done. Thank you so much for tuning in. And please do remember, as Ozzy walks back into the frame, sports don't build character. They reveal it. You want to say goodbye, Ozzy?
Bye.
There you go. Bye-bye. You like that helmet? That's my helmet.
Yeah, dude.
Do you want to wear it?
No, it's kind of too big for my head.
It is a little bit big for you. Do you want to try it on? No?
When you used to soccer, did you use that all the time?
When I played football, did I wear that helmet? No, I wore another helmet. That's kind of a new one. And I never played soccer because your dad's a real man and real men never play soccer.
Hey.
Is this a new one?
This is a tiny little mini helmet. You can play with this. This might fit your head. No, it doesn't. It's too small.
Yeah, it's too small, isn't it?
It is too small.
Yeah, you're that big one to soccer.
Dealing with a 3-year-old while you're trying to host a show doesn't build character. It reveals it. Thanks for watching.